Doomsday 3.
We're in Doomsday 1.
No question in my mind.
He came from one of the toughest areas of Phoenix. Most of his friends,
You got people on the TV talking about it. You better get your ass to the ball. You better get to the ball.
I just got to say, when it comes to Dallas Cowboys, well,
That's different.
For sure. This guy gets on you.
And then I go to bed every night like, G, man, I promise you that. We got a special. What is up, Cowboys Nation? It is draft week. Hopefully, you guys had a good weekend. Now's the time for a little hope, a little optimism, and all that good stuff. And Jimmy, hopefully you had a good weekend. Before I get rolling, make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe, share as you guys are rolling in. You know, we're live streaming all over the place now. We are nationwide. So we're on Twitter or X, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. But where you can help us the most is going to YouTube. So at some point, get your lazy ass over to YouTube, hit that subscribe, hit the like, show your boys some love. Don't cost you nothing. And you make us both very happy. So, but all seriously, we appreciate everyone joining. And
Absolutely.
What's a good word?
Wait a minute. You said national. It's international. Come on. You've done some international podcasts. We've got people from Germany and England and all over the place. Come on. Bugsy. What's up, Vince? Cut. Hey, Bugsy. Good game yesterday. How about them Rangers, baby? How about Matt Rempe taking care of his business? I'm in a great mood because my Knicks on Saturday night took care of business at the Garden. The Rangers took care of business at the Garden yesterday. The Knicks are back in action tonight. I'm feeling good. I'm loving life right now. And the draft is Thursday.
Well, yeah. So this is going to be good. So we're going to mix it up a little bit. We're going to talk some NBA, talk some NHL, talk a little bit of just general sports. And then we're going to do a live 7-round mock draft. Atlanta Falcons, Dallas Cowboys, Jimmy Dee and I, with the help of you guys in the chat, we're going to need your help. With the help of you guys, we are going to get our team set to meet in the NFC Championship game in one night. All they got to do is Rich McKay still your GM?
No, Terry Fontenot.
Fontenot's
the one calling the shots. Yeah.
Well, he better be listening. Old Jerry better be listening because we're going to get this thing right. I was watching some draft show, and they're talking about Rich McKay when he was. That's why I was sticking him with the Buccaneers, and he said the mistake that they always made, all these guys make, and he said he was never going to make that again. And I don't know if he did it with the Falcons or not, but in Tampa Bay, he said, we're drafting guys on ability and what we see on the film. We're not worried about measurables. We're not worried about what they do in the combine, because he said that they got Derek Brooks in the first round and all these teams passed up on him because it's too small to be a linebacker. Yeah. People wanted him to try out at safety. And he's like, I want to be a linebacker. And I mean, that's the thing as we get to the draft is don't get caught up in the 40s. Don't get caught up in all. Get caught up in what you see, the performance you see when they're facing competition, especially elite competition. How do they perform when the pressure's on? That's what I want to see from my Cowboys. I want to see them drafting guys that I know are going to get the job done because we got no room for error. Well,
and it's funny. So McKay, he's head office right now, and Fontenot's making the calls. He's calling the shots. And, it's funny. We'll take a real quick talk about the Falcons. Did you see what came out that basically Bob Kraft called our owner, Arthur Blank, and said, you might want to think twice about hiring Bill Belichick because he doesn't play nice.
Oh, really?
And he's not easy to get along with. Yeah, that
I did not see that. That's breaking news for me.
Yes, I'm sure. Hopefully somebody else saw it, but yeah, he called him twice. The Falcons were on the cusp of hiring Bill Belichick, and Kraft called Arthur Blank twice and said, don't do it, man. He doesn't play nice with others. And he's not, the Falcons are kind of like not in the same way Jerry and Stephen Jones are, but we're more like a family, hometown organization, if you will. And Kraft said that'll never work with Belichick. And that's the reason why we went Coach Morris.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if Fish Lawson from Sunrise U is going to be available when we're picking. He's probably going to be gone, but he would be the steal of the draft.
Okay, see, Doug saw it.
Oh, he did say.
Yeah.
Now, what an ingrate! I'm going to be honest with you right now. What an ingrate that Kraft would be. This guy was the coach and got you Super Bowls, made you money, made you guys prominent, made you guys all of that stuff, and you're going to try and put the knife in his back on the way out the door. Hey, keep your mouth shut. If you got what did they used to say? If you got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Hey, it could be true, but why are you gonna try and hate on a man from getting another opportunity? It's starting to remind me a little bit of the Cowboys. The Cowboys do this smear campaign when they got some players up for contract and this and that. You got all these anonymous sources. You got beat writers making tweets and making these comments and things like that. You don't need that. I mean, there's no place for it. But I will say this, Jimmy, before I forget, we do have a place for you in the cave because the defender of the star, George Teague, and Teague's take, hopefully JT. I got so many T's. I'm missing my Teague's takes. And JT is going to be coming into the cave on Wednesday night, special night, pre-draft night, and then we are live streaming during the first round. I don't know what Jimmy's schedule is, but it's going to be open door policy, come and go. The fans, we're going to have the stream up. You guys come in here. You can tell us how you really feel. Tell me to F off and then get off. Or you can stand and allow me to retort, but we're going to have a good time. Some guy challenged me to a debate on the Cowboys because he didn't appreciate some of my comments. And I said, look, I'm live every Tuesday, every Monday, Thursday. Come on in. He goes, oh, you're too afraid to give me a day and time. I said, you did, you idiot. Come in here. And so Thursday's the day. So we're going to have some fun. I'm looking forward to it. But we got a busy week in the cave. So that is more reason to hit that like, subscribe, share on YouTube, because that's where the action's going to be.
Jean-Claude, écoutez-moi, s'il vous plaît. Vous allez à YouTube. Écoute-nous à YouTube, s'il vous plaît.
I don't know what he said, but I like him. He's got
and Doug saw it. But it's funny, you talk about the ingrates. The last time I heard that word was remember National Lampoon's European Vacation when the kids want to go home and there's just a couple of ingrates. Oh God. Man. So that was crazy. I mean, it's funny how that stuff eventually comes out, but true story.
That's just, I don't know why I don't know. To me, that's a little classless to me. I don't know. It is, but I guess we'll see. We'll see if that's what he did. I mean, that'd be kind of shitty if you're the owner and did that, trying to hurt a man from getting a job. That's That's right. You know what? Let them get paid. But hey, you know what? If that's really the case, and there would have been issues behind the scenes, I don't want any drama in Atlanta. We don't need that. No. I just want to win. Just want to win some ball games. Yeah. No. Yeah. Definitely. Sorry, I hit your job, Jimmy. I apologize, but definitely stop by on Thursday. Well, I got to get better at that. I won't do it. Bugs, definitely stop by. Like I said, you could pop in for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or just hang out in the chat, whatever you guys want to do. The only thing I'd say is if you're going to pop into the video live stream, make sure you're looking tight. Make sure you're looking fresh. I don't want to see people walking around bare ass behind you or anything like that. It's a family show. So make sure you're prepared and you got good internet. We don't want you scrambling all around, bringing down the value and quality of this program.
That's right. Get rid of that dial-up internet. We don't need any part of that. But kind of like back in the days. Remember when you were trying to? Well, this might be in the realm of PG-13. When you're trying to watch the certain sorts of movies and you're looking through the cable screen, all pixelated.
Back and forth. You hit the channel up and down because it would be perfect for that one moment.
Yes.
Do that all day. It's so much easier.
God,
life is easier for that kind of stuff. So, hey, I don't know about you, Jimmy, but it was a beautiful weekend in sunny Florida, and you just sit out, you watch some TV on the patio, and I'll be honest, I've always said it. I don't really get into basketball until the playoffs. And I'd say hockey too. I'll watch hockey. I love playoff sports except for football. I watch every week because it's so important and I love it. But I went ahead and said, you know what? It's beautiful out. My Miami Heat, they're playing the Celtics. We slapped them around last year when they were the 1 seed. So I was like, maybe we'll do it again. But then my son reminded me that they're missing 2 of their best players to injury.
Yeah.
And needless to say, the Heat were getting their ass whooped, but they came back and fought a little bit. So it was a good basketball. It was a decent game. And then I watched the Clippers get just absolutely annihilate the Mavericks. So you're the resident expert of basketball. What's going on with these playoffs? What are you seeing? And who's going to make it to the next round?
Well, I think before I get to that, Bobby has a valid point.
Yes, there you go.
Good point there.
You got a very valid point.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Now, you know what? I think the big shocker okay, I'm gonna start with my team, the Knicks. Brunson did not show up Saturday. I think he was, not as bad as Starks, 1 for 17, but he was pretty close. Miles McBride picked up the slack. We took care of our business at home. Joel Embiid, we'll see if he's out because that's huge. I think that the biggest, what I would say upset of the weekend was the Pacers losing to Milwaukee, and Milwaukee doesn't have Giannis. So you'd think that that's, easy pickings for the Pacers, but nah, man, they got taken down 1-0. The Heat, buckets, he's hurt. So look, the Celtics, I hate to say it, and I have a feeling if we go toe to toe with them in the playoffs, we can take them because we did play them well in the regular season. But that being said, no Butler. That's tough, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Jason Tatum.
I don't think they're gonna.
Jason Tatum had an easy triple double, and I hate to say, I'd love to see Miami, New York. Selfishly speaking, that's old school basketball. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. No, that would be a lot of fun. That would be a lot of fun. I can't believe it. Well, the Magic lost to the Cavs, but I was like, man, Magic are good. See, that's what happens when you don't watch basketball all year. It's like some of these teams that are in the playoffs, I'm like, Cleveland and the Magic are playing each other. I said, what the hell is going on around here?
Yeah, that's right, man. And then Mike, Mikey, you're right. I mean, but then again, the Knicks had injuries all year. Again, I would love to have the Heat and Knicks, in the playoffs. Even though last year didn't turn out so well for my Knicks, I'd love to have that. But yeah, what was that final in the Mavericks game yesterday? That was crazy.
Oh, they were getting killed, and I didn't know Mikey Schefter's in. If Mikey Schefter's around, he might be able to come in and give us some tips when we do our mock draft.
Yes,
that we're going to do in the last part of the show. About 30 minutes in, we're going to do a live mock draft. So make sure you guys, if you're hanging, you want to stick for that because Jimmy's going to need a little help. I might need a little bit of help, but we'll see what happens. But looking at the series, Nuggets and Lakers, is that a mismatch? I mean, LeBron's going to be one and done again in the first round, or
Nuggets all day long. Joker's going to take care of his business like he did in game 1 all day long.
Wolves and the Suns.
This is this. The Suns have, Devin Booker. They got a good squad. That's tough, man. I think the Suns take it. I think. Best guess, in my opinion.
And I would say,
Durant and Booker. Come on, where are you going wrong with that?
And then help your boy out. The what you call it? Golden State Warriors not even in the playoffs.
Golden State got knocked out in the play-in.
Yeah, I don't call that playoffs.
Play-in, whatever you call it. I call it a waste of time. And it gets back to what we were talking about last week. Mikey, Nuggets and Lakers is a series to watch. Doug, LeBron out quickly again. And I have to agree with Doug on that one. Jokic, he's just, he's the man. And he proved that last season. He's going to prove it again this season, in my opinion. And it gets back to last week in this play-in with the NBA playoffs. You had 2 teams in the East well under 500 who had an opportunity to make it in. And I think it's stupid, right? You're giving participation trophies. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm not a real big fan of that. I know it's revenue and it's opportunity to extend the playoffs and it's all about TV money. That's, don't kid yourself. That's why the NFL extended their playoffs, and college football is going to 12 to 14, which they should, don't get me wrong. But it's all about the money, right? That's where I try and tell these people. They want me to protest against my Cowboys. My man Nick's bought a couple draft hats, and he's getting crucified on Twitter for spending his $60 on a couple of hats. Like, that's going to make the big difference. It's a little bit ridiculous. I don't know.
Well, at the end of the day, you're right. It's all about dough. And like I said last week, too, the NHL, they need to revamp the way they do things. They came with some dopey wild card crap. So you have and I'm not switching subjects here quite yet. I'm just saying you have in that league, you have teams that are in first round. They're big matchups. They're teams that could potentially, if we went to the old school format 1-8, you had teams that in the first round would potentially be playing in the conference finals if it was the old school way of doing it. That's stupid too. They need to get back to 1-8. The NBA, the NHL need to be 1-8. None of this, like you said, it's all about the dough.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
I gotta ask you. This is going way back. So we're live streaming on Instagram too.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Jimmy?
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No.
It's delayed. I'm sorry. I'm looking at it. So I went over there because I think the guy that Kelly blocked is on the Instagram, and he's saying, am I still blocked? Are Eagle fans allowed in? And I don't remember him that well, but maybe someone blocked him.
I haven't blocked anybody.
I mean, do we release the block? I'm going to find out because we love everybody, but what do we do? What do we do in the chat? Do we let this guy back in? I think he was or old school loyal guys. They know the deal. Doug might remember. I don't know who. I can't remember. It's something Scotty Philly. Does anyone remember that? Remember that name?
Well, I'd love to have a Philadelphia fan in here for two reasons. A, my Knicks are up 1-0 on Philadelphia. And number two, when A.J. Brown gets traded, I want to hear what they're talking about.
Yeah, well, we need to find out. I need to check with Kelly. We need to look at the history. I don't know how to block anyone on YouTube. So, Carl, that might be it. Is that Carl?
Yes, that's who it was. It was Carl.
Is it Carl? Right
again. Except for
Doug's got a memory like an elephant. I like it.
Except for the Carolina Hurricanes, Doug is spot on.
Yeah. A hype video for the draft. I'm going to work on that.
That's a great idea.
Patience, guys.
That's
what
right.
I say patience. I got to see what we pick. If they trade out of the first round, and then which I wouldn't have a problem if they did. It wouldn't bother me too much if they did. But it's going to be interesting. Some guy, I love Twitter. Some guy attacked my mock draft. I don't know if he thought I worked for the Cowboys or not, but I got to read you what he wrote because it was borderline offensive, Jimmy, and I didn't know how to respond. Let's see. Let me find it.
I know. Let me respond to Bobby while you're.
Oh, go ahead.
So Sixers will never win. You know why? Joel Embiid is a hell of a talent, but he's always hurt. I mean, he can't make it through a season. He can't even make it through a playoff series. You see him come down. I mean, he had a beautiful. Let's be honest. He had a beautiful rebound dunk the other night. Lands wrong, hurts his knee again. And Doug, look. I'm gonna say this. Obviously, Carolina's a great team, and we know it. But with Freddie Anderson at goal, I don't see him carrying that team. I know you have he's got a goalie partner who played really well during parts of the season, but I don't see him being one of these goalies to carry the team through. A.J. Brown isn't getting traded. Actually, they started extension talks. I don't know, man. That ain't what I read. That's not what I heard in the rumor mill.
Jimmy's is Bobby up in Philadelphia because Jimmy is right there in the heartland of the area. So he's got inside connections. He's got a lot of insiders. So we need to make sure if Bobby isn't in Philadelphia, then maybe he's not hip to the script. But Jimmy, let me ask you this, and you tell me if you'd be offended.
Yeah.
I posted my mock draft. I got a lot of great comments on it. A lot of great comments. I didn't take an offensive lineman to the fourth round because there was other value. And me personally, I don't think the Cowboys' offensive line is as bad as what some people say. So I looked at other positions in need, but I took a guard and a center in the fourth round because I did some wheeling and dealing to get some picks. So this guy said, this is the worst mock draft I've ever seen. No way the Cowboys wait till late in the draft to draft an offensive lineman. You are delusional. Delusionally called me. The funniest thing is I go on ESPN this morning or NFL.com and they said, they did a 7-round mock draft. 7-round mock draft they did for every team. What round did they have the Cowboys draft in their first offensive lineman?
Second.
The fourth round. Fifth.
Okay.
Fifth round. I don't know if they did trades or not. It was later than when I picked them. So this guy can kiss my ass. I didn't respond to it, even though he followed. And I don't mind. I don't know why he called me delusional. Everyone has their own opinion. The mock drafts are for fun. You take it too
Mike Tag says what he feels. Got to get disrespected for something like that.
Yeah,
Come on.
we got a couple people that why Chris agrees with me. Someone does. Honestly, I don't think our offensive line. Now, if they took an offensive lineman, would I be mad? No. I mean, you could address it if you think a guy's there of value, but I'm feeling weird about it. I just don't think our offensive. I think some youth and some shakeup is what this offensive line could use. So that's just my opinion. I said what I feel.
That's right. And Rangers, Chris, Rangers going to win the cup. I'm feeling good about it. You got Shesterkin, a goalie who could carry us the whole distance. And if something goes wrong, you got Jonathan Quick on your ass. We got firepower. We got some speed. We got some Matt Rempe, man, that this guy is taking New York by storm with some energy. The only team I fear in the East is the Florida Panthers. They score. They're tough. They're gritty. They fight, and they don't care. That's the thing. So that's the only team I fear in the East right now.
You think you're going to beat the Carolina in the first round?
Well, no, right now, no. In the first round, no, we're playing Washington in the first round. Bugsy and I were going at
Washington. Okay,
yeah,
because in Carolina like the top? Are they the top team or Florida?
No, it was we won the President's Trophy, which is allegedly a jinx. I don't believe in jinxes, but it's the best team in the league. The Panthers won their division. The Stars won the West. I believe they had the most points in the West. Speaking of Dallas, they play tonight. But if in the event at some point we meet the Panthers, that's a team I fear the most. And they have
you don't think
goaltending.
the Lightning are going to be able to take them out? I know they lost the first game, but
no. Well, I mean, it was a close game. It was a good game. But at the end of the day, the Panthers are young, man. They're young, and they have two really good goalies. And I don't see the Lightning beating the Panthers. I see the Panthers in 5 or 6. It's Bugsy says it's a jinx. Hopefully not. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that sort of thing. Yeah. Cowboys should absolutely draft an offensive lineman first round.
Well, the thing I would say, and that's coming from an Eagle fan, but the thing I would say, if Dallas drafts an offensive line, he's going to be really good. I don't know. Knock a little on wood there. I don't know the last time they drafted an offensive lineman in the first round that wasn't an All-Pro or Pro Bowl. I mean, they've been very, very good at drafting offensive linemen. So I don't have any. If they drafted one, I'd feel fine with it. Like I said, I just don't think it's as. I think defensive line. I think linebacker. I think there's some other areas. I think if a stud wide receiver falls to him, I wouldn't mind that. So I mean, that's kind of what you got to figure out. But anyway, so we'll see.
Yeah, and on an NBA related note, having nothing to do with the playoffs, but we have Uncle Cheech here during the NFL season, so we do talk some for entertainment purposes, a little bit about the odds and a little bit of betting. Did you see this in Toronto that Jonte Porter he got suspended for life from the NBA because he was not only point shaving, but he was also, how you like on DraftKings, you bet on players. You don't need to necessarily. He was actually to screw around and make extra money, and he was, giving people some advice behind the scenes. He pulled himself out of the game. I'm sick, my knee's hurting. So he was pulling all sorts of shenanigans to get himself pulled out of the game when necessary to lower the amount of points he was personally scoring or help the team out less. And then there's other times where he was trying to turn it on. So
really?
Imagine that for peanuts, whatever peanuts this guy was making off of gambling, he's now out of the NBA forever. So where's he going? To play for Ice Cube's league? Going to play in China? Where's he going now?
That's crazy.
Stupid. It's called stupid.
Well, that's unfortunately sometimes what happens is some of these guys they're short-sighted in some of their thinking and what they do. But then you got Ohtani. I mean, he's been free and clear, right? Is there any more stories on that, or is that
no? I mean,
swept under the rug?
So that's swept under the rug, and everybody knows what it is because they know if they open up that can of worms, arguably the biggest star in the game is going to have all sorts of controversy surrounding him, and then they open up the Pete Rose can of worms, right?
Yeah.
So I don't believe that as there's no way Ohtani didn't know, and nobody's going to change
that. There is no way in hell. How about that? There is no way in
No.
hell that he knew nothing. $4.5 million or something that transferred out of his account into his interpreter's account. And you didn't know about it. I mean, you have to sign something. I mean, it just don't make no sense. It makes no sense. So
it was actually, it ended up being like 16 million last time I read about it.
Wow. And you didn't know nothing about it.
Nah, I didn't know nothing. Pocket change to Ohtani.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Speaking of baseball, on a real quick baseball note, having nothing to do with actually, did you see? So the Rockies, one of their hitting code. You remember on the Yankees, Hensley Bam Bam Mullins?
I did see that he had posted a video of him in the airplane or something, right?
Yeah, he was sitting in the pilot seat, actually the captain's seat, talking about how he's flying. Put on social media how he's flying the plane and all this crap. Well, guess what? Now there's an FAA investigation into the team flight and United Airlines.
Well, first of all, why? This is the problem with people with their phones. They can't enjoy the moment. They got to video and tweet about it instead of just enjoying it. And personally, it's like, I don't think it's a big deal. The cops are, the pilots were there and all that, but you're asking for trouble. You know, the world we live in today.
Yes. And usually it's, we talk about a lot of kids doing that, but he's got to be well into his 40s. He should know better than that.
40s. He's got to be older than that.
Older than that. I mean, I'm trying to remember. We were
kids.
Yeah.
And he was a kid too. But he's got to be in his 50s, mid 50s at least.
Yeah. But Bugsy brings up a good. Did you see what happened? And it happened just a couple hours ago. We were playing a home game against Oakland today, and Boone argued. I forget who was pitching, but one of our pitchers uncorked something that hit the batter in the foot. Boone argued it for a second, and the umpire screamed at him, and you can hear it clear as day on the mic. And so Boone goes back to the dugout, and Boone just sitting there minding his business. Somebody from the stands must have yelled out some profanities and threatened the umpire with violence. And the umpire turns around thinking it's Boone, says, "You're out!" Throws him out of the game. Boone's sitting there like this, and he's like, "What?" And he goes running up and screaming and yelling at the ump and the umpire. I said, "I don't care who said it. You're out."
That is bullshit, man.
I swear to you.
That is bullshit.
When not right now, everybody, but when we're done here, go watch it. Go check out Boone gets thrown at a game today. And it's one of the funniest things you're ever going to see. I couldn't stop laughing. I'm not the biggest fan of Boone, but his facial expression, it was.
I'm going to have to look at that one. Because that's insane. That's insane. You can't be doing that shit.
No, exactly. But it's just funny. That's all.
Yeah.
So,
no.
But so we talked a little NBA. Like I said, the Celtics are the cream of the crop, but I feel good about the Knicks. Look, the Knicks. We had a lot of injuries right now. Randall's out, but actually we've been playing better since Randall's been out of the lineup. Go figure. He's out until next season. I think we could give the Celtics a run for their money if we meet them in the playoffs. And honestly, I don't see anybody else beating us in the playoffs. Maybe Mikey Schefter has something else to say about that, but
we'll see. But
pretty well. But
I don't know if you saw what Shaq said about his basketball comments. Did you see it?
No.
He said they're still the second best dream team. And yeah, I said it. Shaq doesn't believe the 92 dream team roster is the best ever. He believes the 2008 Redeem team is the best dream team ever.
I don't agree with that. That's crazy. I don't even know what to say about that. That's stupid. He could just be trying to get in the headlines. I love Shaq.
They say these kind of things. So credible shows will repeat it like I did.
That's right.
And then it gives him some run. I don't believe that. The thing is, the 92 Dream Team was so special because it was the first, and it was kind of like that whole America, right? It was so pro America, and we had to defend ourselves over what happened in the 88 Olympics, right? One of the 88 Olympics with the Russian thing, and we ended up getting screwed in the best. So now we're going to go defend our honor and our game. And they absolutely annihilated everybody. So I don't know how you say that wasn't the best.
And they were stomping on teams, outscoring teams by 60 points. And think about who you hadn't played. You had Magic, you had Larry Bird, you had Patrick. You had all these names. And again, they were all about F that. We're making up, redeeming ourselves, redeeming the country, I should say.
But here, the closest game they had was Croatia. They beat them by 32 for the gold medal.
Oh, a pretty close ball game.
I didn't even know this stat. The Team USA, through the whole tournament, the whole Olympic run, never called a timeout. Is that true? I mean, never called a timeout.
Gee, I guess
that's crazy.
It is crazy.
So,
and I don't know. 2008, nah, I don't see that.
So more importantly, it is getting close to the little NFL draft. And Jimmy is a resident expert of the NFL draft. And he's getting an opportunity to pick his team to get these Falcons where they need to be. So let's see if I can work some magic here, and let's see if I can get this right. That looks perfect right there. So now we're back in the mix, and we got Jimmy D, and we're going to need your help in the chat. So we're going to need you guys.
We need help.
The Falcons, and I'm looking up at the screen, so that's why I'm looking up. I'm not looking away from you. The Falcons have the 8th pick, but they also have 1, 2, 3, 4. They got 5. You got 8 picks, and I think the Cowboys, I think we got like 6 or 7. I think we got 7. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this draft started. Jimmy, are you ready?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All right. And it's saying, I don't know if you agree, but the only needs it has for you guys is defensive line and cornerback. So they're saying you guys are doing pretty good. Now, you've got the 8th pick. You got the big tackle from Notre Dame. He's rated pretty high. You got Cooper DeJean from Iowa, cornerback. You got another cornerback, Mitchell from Toledo. If you're looking for an edge rusher, you got Latu. You got Newton if you need an interior defensive lineman. And you got Byron Murphy, the interior defensive lineman from Texas. So if you guys help Jimmy D out, I mean, what are you thinking? What are you thinking if you're the Falcons, Jimmy, and you're running this organization? What are you thinking that you're going to draft?
Okay, so first of all, we haven't signed, and I know they're a little bit on the veteran side, but Calais Campbell and Bud Dupree. Look, we need edge. That's what we need. Both of those guys led the team in sacks, 6.5 sacks each last year, and that's what we need because we haven't signed them. I don't know if we're going to sign them. I think we're foolish not to sign them. But again, you need the next man up. You need a younger guy because those guys aren't getting any younger, right? The second thing I'm looking at is offensive line because you got Matthews and McGarry. Their contracts are up in 25. And again, they're, offensive linemen, their shelf life is not that long anymore, right? So Joe Alt.
I can tell you, he's a PFF rated 90.7, gave up 1 sack all season, 2 hits and 2 hurries. Left tackle. I mean, left tackle is a premium spot.
True.
So that's
true. But again, I think that you can get offensive linemen later in the draft, in my opinion, right? So that's why I'm looking at your premier, like I said, we need edge. That's what I'm going for first. And I think it's crazy that a quarterback is not listed anywhere on there.
No, they like what they got. They like Cousins. I mean,
thank you, Bobby. Bobby and me at the same time.
But you got, I mean, you could go quarterback. I mean, would you take one of these quarterbacks in the first round?
See, and now that's a tough call because now I know we did invite in, and again, I don't know. You guys know I'm not a college football expert. I'm not going to pretend to be, but maybe you guys can help me out a little bit here. Spencer Rattler visited with the Falcons, or we visited with him, I should say. Plays for, I think, South Carolina.
Yeah, he's way down. He's not going to be on your list of. You're talking top. If I'm you, I'm going tackle. You got a cornerback. or you got your edge guy. I mean, if that's what you're saying you're needing, I would be hard pressed to pass up a big left tackle. I mean, that is an anchor for your line, but I don't know how your line is. So
no, our line is really good. I have no problem with the offensive line. So that's why I'm saying I wouldn't mind, dropping lower. I mean, again,
we don't want to trade down because it'd take too long, but because I
no,
love
no,
to trade down
do
Dallas, but we're gonna go pick.
So Doug is saying to go for the tackle.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, but again, where you guys know more about college football than I do, I know what we need. I know we're gonna need next season. We're gonna need offensive linemen. So I'm cool with drafting this season. And if you guys are telling me that's the best athlete available at number 8, I'll take him.
You're taking him?
Yeah.
All right, he's taking him. He's taking him. And now that comes up to the Cowboys. Now, this is where it's going to get interesting because we're not allowed to trade. Now, I would trade back. I was on record trading back. Team trade back a little bit, but stay in the first round. And so I'm going to ask you guys again. You got a cornerback there that's ranked pretty damn high that fell to you. And that's how these mock drafts work. That's why people get, well, you don't draft this guy, you should have drafted that. Well, you don't know how the mock draft is panning out. I've never seen the cornerback drop this far. So I'm looking at the cornerback and saying, look at the value there. But you also have the offensive lineman. And then you've got the wide receiver, Mitchell from Texas. Peyton Wilson, I'm not touching him. I know people say you get scared about injuries. So I need to know what you guys. I got two for JPJ. What are you thinking, Jimmy?
I don't know, man. No. But at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know much about college football. I do know that you guys were looking for line. I mean, I don't know. Again, are you picking the best available player or what your needs are?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pass up a cornerback, but I just think they have needs. And I'm just telling you, if it were me, I'd be trading back, but I can't. So it's either you go with the safe pick, which is the center, or you go with some flash and you get Mitchell. You got a tackle there, and Graham Barton as well, who's fallen down there from Duke. Or you can get some Kool-Aid. You got Kool-Aid at cornerback. I mean, I'd almost draft him just because his name's Kool-Aid.
What do you
think about that, Jimmy?
I like that guy.
All right, and then we're getting a lot of people on the cornerback. So, I'm gonna piss some people off, and I'm gonna. Oh man, I don't know. All right. I'm scared. I'm gonna go with the safe pick, but I'm going with the receiver because I think offense it's too good to pass up. So I know I'm gonna get hate for it. I apologize. I'm going for the receiver. So that brings you to you, Jimmy.
Okay, now
you got Honky, you get receiver. You got Penix. Now, This is the interesting thing with you.
Yes.
That's what I would be looking at right there if I'm the Falcons.
And I'm not even gonna lie. What does that say? Maybe you can't see it.
I can't see it.
Yeah, you could right there. I wrote it.
I said it.
Yeah. So I you know what I did? I tried to do a little research because I figured we'd be talking draft. And here's my catch-22 though. We need an edge, and I keep saying it. We need the edge. But if this quarterback is available, and that's I'm taking him.
If he falls to you there, you got to take him.
Yes, absolutely, because he's learning. He's under he'll be holding the clipboard for a few years, but that's how you want to learn.
Yeah, I like it. I think that's a steal. I think it's a steal. Now we get interesting because the Cowboys are up, and the pick that everyone thought you're going to get is the running back. And now the running back that you hear that they want is gone. So now you got Fisk, an interior defensive lineman. You got Chris Jenkins if we want to go the Michigan route again. You got Blake, the big running back from Michigan, the good running back there. You got Hicks, you got Ellis. Edger and Cooper is the guy that I've always picked. And that's going to be, again, if the draft were to fall this way, you're kind of thinking a trade down scenario is what I would be. I'd be looking at. Bugsy's going Blake.
Yeah.
So I am. We got Cooper. Wait, where things are changing now. What do we got? We got and I would take Cooper. See, I would trade down and take him. I just don't know if the value. If we got to stay where we're at, if the value's there for us. And then I'm seeing Jenkins. Do we want to go Michigan one more time? We don't have flashbacks of Michigan defensive linemen. We want to do that again, didn't we?
You guys need to fill a running back spot.
I know.
That's tough, man.
It's a tough spot, but if you like the kid from Washington or from Washington or Wisconsin, you could pass on Corn, but he's a workhorse. I'm going to draft him. How about that, Jimmy?
There you go. All right.
Now we get to you, and you've got Trey Benson, who fell probably right where he's at, but I think he might end up going higher.
Yeah.
You got a couple receivers there.
Well, okay.
What position are you looking at? An edge rusher?
Well, we're looking for an edge now.
Let's look at your edge. You got Xavier Thomas there.
Rank 83. I mean,
let's see. He had 4 sacks, but he's at Clemson at a big school. He's been in the 70s PFF. Let's see if he's got. He's not even good enough to get any analysis. Really? He's a true low floor, high. He's a low floor, high ceiling prospect. Got a couple good prospects. He's on the older side. He's 24 years old.
Sounds young to me.
Yeah, he's a good thing if you're a 3-4 pass rushing specialist. I don't know if he's a good fit for you guys.
No, that's the thing. See, and that's where it's tough by addressing it up front.
Yeah.
Let me see. Do we got any analysis?
He's not. He's a hybrid. He's not as big. He's not as big.
See, now here's the thing. I see. What do we got? We got a edge. Jeez, man.
Well, that's your edge. I took the edge, but if I take them off, you got interior defensive lineman. He's your highest rated guy on the board.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. I'm going defense. I mean, you could say we lost Patterson. He went to the Steelers, but I don't need to run him back right now.
Well, you're on the clock again.
All right. Yeah, that's right. We got a pick from Jacksonville, compensatory pick.
Is this the guy that beat the hell out of the Hurricanes?
I don't know.
I need my North Carolina brethren to tell me. Was this the guy that destroyed the Hurricanes single-handedly? If it is, I like him.
I like that guy. See, now we're looking at 75. See, now this Xavier Thomas.
He's going to be a situational. He's a situational pass rushing guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a guy that's going to be your third down pass rushing special, which is not a bad thing. I mean, you're getting him in the third round. I mean, and he's got some upside, but that's probably your edge guy. If you really need an edge guy,
we do. And that's the thing we do. We have to get an edge rusher. Because again, we don't have right now. We have 2 guys unsigned, and they're older.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna lock that in there. And now we get to us, and we need edge, and we need a cornerback. What do you guys are thinking here? I'm looking at Solomon. He had a high grade there. 17 sacks at Troy. How big is he? 6'4", 245. He'd have to get some weight on him.
Yeah. 6'2" or 6'4"?
6'2", 245. Mm-hmm. But I mean, he's bigger than Parsons. I mean, he could just be a rotational pass rush guy. But he jumped up, man. 5 sacks, 10 sacks in 21, 5 and like explosive. We'll lose the length battle, shorter strides, happy feet, impressive all-around athlete. Wrestling background, that kind of seals the deal for me.
That's it.
That's all about leverage. All about leverage.
That's your guy.
That's my guy.
Well, the big thing is athlete. Like we always said, you want to get obviously you need positions, but if you get the best athlete available with the the best inside the ears, that's where you want to go. No. Stephen White, we need bigger, Troy Boy, take him. Cut says take him.
I'm listening to Cuts. I mean, if you listen to me when it comes to Cuts, you go get yourself a custom cut by Cuts by Jones. That's how you got to do it. So but definitely Cuts knows what he's talking about. Plus, he can cook. Hey, you know something about Cuts? You know something about him, Jimmy?
What about him?
If he can't pick a draft, I bet he can cook. He's great on the grill. So that's all that matters. Anyone who doesn't know, those are Rocky lines. You know Jimmy and I well enough. We always mix in some Rocky lines in while we're talking. So, what do you think, Jimmy?
You know what? If
they're saying cornerback, you got
no. I agree. We do need a cornerback, we got a center. See, we already.
You got a center there. If you need a line, you got top cornerbacks. Let's look at the cornerbacks and see what you got. You got your Florida State. You got Missouri. I don't know him as well. Had 4 picks, 85-8 PFF. Let's see what Jones. Florida State, 90. He had 3 picks. How'd he do against Miami? Didn't do well against Miami, so he gets some big competition. He didn't do that well, but he lit it up against some of the the lesser teams. But he got better in the end. But
we need somebody opposite AJ Terrell.
6'1", 191. Got a lot of reliable tackler.
That's what we need.
He's willing to be a run defender. Not afraid to hit. He ain't going to make business decisions like your man Primetime.
That was the best. Yeah, you know what? 1/3. Let's go with Jerry and Jones. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Jimmy's making some moves. Your draft, you might be one of the best drafts of all time. All right. Well, here we go.
Jimmy D's mind. What's that?
Jesus, what is with all these picks?
Yeah, we got the Calvin Ridley pick, and this is okay, let's see. So what do we have for edge rushers right now?
Let's see. Oh, you got Kamara still there. Let's see. He's 6'1", 250. Shorter, but he's wins with power. Lower height makes for natural leverage. Compact loaded stance. 6'1". That's going to be a little issue with him. Even when hands move, it's tough for him to get off blocks due to his lack of length.
Well, that's a little too much information.
Yeah, I know. We didn't need to know that.
Let's look at another. Let's
Let's see what we got.
You know what?
You got
like a size. I don't think he's pretty that quick though.
You got he's 6'3", 260.
That's what I'm looking for.
He's not an opposing athlete. Will not to win. That's not a good thing.
No.
Great understand. Really fast with his counters. He's good pass rush play. Quick to the counter. So you got him. I don't know much about. You got the Michigan, a national championship team. This guy won championships, so he knows how to get the job done.
Let's see what we got here.
Let's see what his height is. He's 6'6", 267. He's 3-4 scheme, but may lack the length and strength needed to be a consistent starter.
Steven's getting a little personal with us right here in the comment section.
What did he say?
That's tough. You know what though? I like, but Michigan, like you said, national champion, big school. Maybe that's who I'm going with.
Then wait
a minute. What about Notre Dame right there?
Oh, there you go. He's French, right?
Vive. You know what? Where is he from? Let's see.
Then say
hometown. Scroll down. I see something about hometown. If you can.
No, they don't have it listed. He could be a pass rushing specialist.
Let's see the analysis.
It's 6 sacks. They have anything on. They don't have anything on
them. That's tough. Then that's tough. Oh, huh? What was this? 6'4". See, now there you go. 6'4", 260.
That's a pretty good. That's pretty good size. That's a good size.
Yeah. You know what? Let's go. Let's go with him because I'm having trouble which edge to pick. So we'll go with Javonte Jean-Baptiste.
All right. Let's see. They'll let you know if you're full of shit or not when it's over. All right. Now the Cowboys, we got some situations here. I didn't take a linebacker, so we're putting ourselves. This is a draft I'm not really crazy about because then that happens. So let me see. See, this is who I took in my other draft. I liked him at center, but you were kind of forcing ourselves with a linebacker. So if we go linebacker, we can get the kid from Notre Dame. Lacks weight, average, below average athlete to NFL standards. That's never a good thing.
That's tough, yeah.
But what the hell do they know? They know as much as my postman. I like Ohio State linebackers. But he didn't grade out. Look, he did terrible against Notre Dame. Very bad game. How do you do against Michigan? Was okay. How big is he? 6'1". He's not. Man, see, this is the trouble that you get into. If things don't fall your way, then that's what happens. But I'm gonna go with the Notre Dame. I'm gonna go with the Notre Dame guy. Hopefully, this is right. Hopefully, you guys. I gotta get a linebacker. You gotta get a linebacker.
Back-to-back Notre Dame picks for the Falcons and Cowboys.
I missed. I'm sorry, Steven. I'll pull them up again because we're probably gonna need another one. I missed your. I can't see those because I'm focusing on the other monitor. Jimmy, you gotta help me.
No, it just
what does the matter with you?
Just popped up.
All right. What are you looking at, Jimmy?
All right. So right now, I mean,
you can get a punter.
Yeah, no, we're good there. I don't need that. Let's look at what do we got left for edge and linebacker.
Let's see, edge and linebacker. That's what you're looking at. This kid, I think we looked at him before. He's 6'1", 230. That's at linebacker. That's kind of small. That's the one we weren't crazy about. And you got Hopper. You got Harrell at edge, who is 6'4", 242. A little smaller in size on the edge to be in there, but he could be a pass rush.
Yeah. There's analysis on this dude?
Let me see. Nope, nothing. They got nothing on him.
No, just said now here's a guy.
Here's the guy. There was a guy, but big school. I like Curtis Jacobs. That's a linebacker. I like Penn State linebackers. If he's there, I would be looking at him. I like this kid. I mean, probably too early to take him, but Texas, I like Jalen Ford. So
check out that Solomon Byrd.
I think I drafted him in one of mine. He had 7 sacks, 6'3", 250.
Yes, that's who we're going with.
That's who you want?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so now we got to, like Steven said, we got to pull up the linebackers for
now we got to he wants to look at linebackers again.
Oh, wait. I'm on the clock. I'm on the clock again.
You're right. What is with you all these damn picks?
I forgot we did get some picks extra.
You need this kid has got a running back.
Yeah, you know what?
I think J-Tuck was talking about him. He liked him.
And again, let's look at the analysis because with Patterson being gone, obviously, you know, I mean, we have Robinson and Algier, but
209. Here's the guy. They don't have shit on him, but these are the team. He's been moving up in the draft. 1,100 yards, 1,300 yards rushing. I know, Steven. Well, he's. I told you. I just looked at the thing. I think you're playing with us because you're taking your time and you're not pulling up these. Steven has things that he's trying to find out, and you're not helping.
He's got the draft.
You're trying to run a Ronald McDonald Miller scheme. But I know my man Tuck. If my memory's right, he was pretty high on this guy. He was high. If you need a backup running back, I mean, you're getting to that point. You're in the 6th round. I mean.
Yeah. So let's look what else we got here. We got tight end. We don't need that. Yeah, man.
I like him.
But you know what? I was gonna say a safety. Yes,
I like him.
Yes,
he's a baller.
I you know him playing behind Jesse Bates, JB3. That works for me. What's he?
6'5", 215.
That's what you need. Height. That's what I need.
Is that what you want?
Yes.
You're smart.
You gotta have smarts.
You gotta have smarts.
Stephen, like guest privilege.
I know that's what it is. All right, Stephen. Stephen, this is your pick. Stephen, this is your pick. Your name is all over the pick. You go ahead and tell me what do you want? What do you want, Stephen? See, now he doesn't want to say nothing. Now he's quiet. We're in the 6th round.
Steven, you're on the clock.
I mean, I'm looking defense, but go ahead, Steven. What do you want? Receiver? We already got to go receiver. What does Steven want? Steven wants...
Right now, he's all happy.
He's all happy?
Yeah.
Forget the happiness.
Here we go. Oh, wait.
There he goes. That's his pick. There we go. All right. See, I listened to Steven.
There we go. Good.
All right. Now we're on the clock again. All right. What does Cuts want? Is Cuts still with us?
Where are you, Cuts?
Do you want to take a Miami namesake, Frank Gore Jr.? Show some love.
Old school.
Or you got the safety from Auburn. Get a tackle. Maybe a little more offensive line. Let's see what Nathaniel Tom. Oh, he's from the Raging Cajuns. You got to like him. 6'5", 334. He'll keep things in a phone booth. Powerful. He's the most powerful man in wrestling. Who's the most powerful man in wrestling, Jimmy? You remember
that was yes. Give me a minute. Man. Scott Norton.
Scott Norton, most powerful man in wrestling.
Yes, that's right.
All right. Oh, I got another pick. You must not have any 7th rounders.
Oh, Steven, he thinks he's delayed. Cuts. He's laughing.
He liked that pick.
He likes that guy.
I like that guy. Now, for me, I would take. See, I like Ford. I did like Ford. I'll go another linebacker. I mean, we're gonna make some. I see. The only thing I don't like is where can you see your picks? Like, how do I know what I've picked? Oh, I can't remember what linebackers I got. I mean, I like this cornerback. I do like him.
Wait a minute. Steve Mack saying Ford.
Yeah, another linebacker. All right, we'll go for the Texas guy.
And Cuts.
I like it. Did he authorize it too?
Yes, Cuts authorized it. He said we're good.
All right, let's see who did better. The Falcons. Oh, B+. All
right.
They did not like your Solomon Bird pick. Dude, James Williams in the 6th round is a steal.
I was going to say, that's crazy.
They can kiss your ass.
I don't even, I mean, I'm just looking at the guy's size and I'm going by your word on it. I mean, come on.
All right, let's look at Dallas.
Yeah.
They didn't like Solomon. I thought that was a great pick.
Man. So we both got B+.
Too many linebackers. We got too many linebackers. See, I didn't see that. I don't like that. Too many linebackers. That was not a good. I was not happy. Caleb Williams, that's our first round. I don't know, Jimmy. I don't know. Too many linebackers. Too many linebackers for my liking.
See now the funny part is some of the talking heads were talking about in the first round should get Dallas Turner, outside linebacker. But I went with the offensive tackle.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. I think for you to get Penix, your first 3 picks are solid.
Yeah.
And I think ours were too. They didn't like the Solomon pick. I think we're kind of caught, but we took too many linebackers. That's where I'd say is it's hard because you don't get the chance to see the I can't look back. I don't know what the hell I'm doing wrong, but I can't look back and see the picks. But we just too many linebackers. No, I blame my man. Who was it? Steven? He's the one that had me take 15 linebackers.
Yeah, there's the evidence. Put the evidence on the screen.
So, but now's a lot. I love doing it. I mean, the mock drafts are fun. Some people take them a little too serious. It's for fun. It's for fun. And I'll be honest with you, the draft that I posted, because I would have been trading if I'm Dallas, and I think Atlanta, I think you might have been doing the same a little bit where you guys were at. I would have been trading. And the draft that I did that I posted on Sunday, I was a kiss stealing, wheeling, dealing son of a gun, and I was trading all over the place. And I think I got like an A- or something like that, or an A whatever. But that's what I would be doing. I mean, especially with Dallas, I'm moving all around, and I'm trying to maximize more picks. I wouldn't have, if I had to, if I was doing it, I wouldn't have taken a running back in the 2nd round. I would have taken one in the third. I even took one. Yeah, I took the Wisconsin kid in the third. So it's all matters how the draft falls. It all matters, where it goes. So
well, you know what it is. There is a word on the street that the Bills want our pick because they need a wide receiver because they don't have one now. They lost Gabe Davis and they lost Diggs, and we'd get a couple second rounders back in their first round pick. We'll see what happens. Stephen Maxey, AJ Brown, he's a goner. I told you guys.
They don't want to listen, Jimmy. They don't want to listen to you. The one draft thing that I heard, and it's all rumor stuff, so I don't know if I don't believe it, but they had talked about Dallas trading Dak Prescott to the Raiders for the 13th pick. And I don't think that's going to happen, but two, he wouldn't be at OTAs, right? If why would you be, take a chance of getting injured, or they wouldn't even have you there. So I think it's garbage. But I just leave you with this, Jimmy, is Dak Prescott, does it amaze you that a guy that was runner up in MVP, let me run through it because I really do. This is just because if you say something positive, then you're a Dak lover and you're an asshole. And but you can't be objective. Now, what I would say is what concerns me always is the postseason success. But I could show you a lot of quarterbacks that have struggled in the postseason that don't get the hate he gets. And really comes down to, your supporting cast too. The defense let you down, but his record as a starter is 73-41. His team has gone 12-5 the last 3 years. And he was 12-5. He started every game. He was 8-4. He was 11-5. He's never had a losing season except when they were out. He got injured the 6th game of the year, 5th game of the year. That's the only time he's ever had a losing season. He has 202 touchdowns to 74 interceptions. Is it justified that he gets the hate that he gets?
No. And it gets back. And by the way, that Sherman Williams interview was a home run. And I know you talked a little bit. He mentioned a little bit about Dak, and it's all about he's getting chirped because of what happens in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right. I told you guys a month ago, I would, before we made moves with Minnesota, I would have taken him in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I think he would have flourished in Atlanta. There's less pressure, and in fairness, just like Cut said, he's not in Dallas with the high pressure situation.
But here's
I would have taken him. I would have taken him. But yeah, go ahead.
And then I want to finish your statement. I want to give you some context to help you. His interception percentage in the regular season career is 1.9%. In the playoffs, it's 5.1%.
Sorry, say that again. In the regular season was what?
Half the voters his interception percentage in the regular season, his career interception percentage is 1.9. Highest ever he had in one season was 3.8. Every other season, except for one, was under 2. So that's, very low turnover ratio. But when you get to the postseason, it's 5.1. And he had 2 playoff seasons where it was over 7%. Which, you're playing less games, so that will skew the numbers a little bit, but it does solidify kind of what Sherman was saying, and maybe what you're getting to is in the pressure situations of the playoffs, there's maybe just something there.
Not only the pressure situations of the playoffs.
Shit, I'm blind. Wait a minute. His interception percentage in the playoffs is 2.5%. I apologize. I was looking at something else. So it's not as bad as I thought.
Okay, but at the end of the day, everybody knows that let's take 2 seasons ago, though. What was it? In 2-point loss to the 49ers in that playoff game?
Yeah.
It was a close game, 21-19 maybe.
Yeah.
Last year, I know you don't want to talk about that. That was a disaster. But again, it comes with playing it is like being on the Yankees. It's a high pressure situation. You have to perform. And now the pressure's on even more with him this season in the playoffs. And if I'm a little concerned, and I know it's the business of the NFL, I know it's part of the game, but what he was saying the other day, he was very complacent and saying, hey, if I'm with Dallas, I'm with Dallas. If I'm not, I'm not. He was very complacent about saying that. And
that was the first time I've ever heard him really get to that point where he did not, where he just kind of said it is what it is kind of thing.
He gave no F's about it. So the question is, if you get somebody in this draft who says, we really need a quarterback, we want a quarterback, and there's Bugsy, Mahomes or Burrow, we have Dak, we can count. Okay. I mean, at the end of the day, if you guys are looking, if somebody will trade and you can get some picks, some really like a handful of picks for Dak Prescott, you might have to really consider it, especially when he's talking like that. And he's okay with, however it plays out, it plays out. I'm not saying he doesn't want to win, but he seems okay with leaving Dallas. Trey Lance, you have Trey Lance.
Yeah. No, and that's the point of it. And I don't know if you guys can see this. I could try and let me see if I go. Can you see that, Jimmy, or is it too small? I was trying to help.
That's what she said.
I know.
No, I can see it on my screen.
Yeah. All right. So I mean, this is his playoff. This is his playoff look. And you look at his games, and the Green Bay game, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. That in 2017, he played well. I mean, he played well in that game. He played well in Seattle. They won. He played well against the Rams. So his first 3 playoff games, he was 1-2, and he played well. Now, here's the one I was at. Played like shit. I mean, you got to call it for what it is, right? You got to call it for what it is. That game, so now he played well in 3, played bad in 1. So 3-1. The Tampa game, he played phenomenal. I know you're with your vulgarness. He played phenomenal in a Tampa game. And then in the San Francisco game, the loss at 12-19. He didn't play great. I mean, it was a close game, but he didn't play great. And the defense, that was the one game where the defense stepped up. And the defense played lights out, but it's just one of those games. So that's a game that you're kind of like, that's not good. That's a problem. And then the Green Bay game, he put up 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. But, I mean, anyone who watched the game knows
it was late.
It was the start of the game that was the killer. And that's where the problem is a lot with him. It's the start of the games. And I was trying to see if they broke it down, but by quarter.
Well, and not for nothing. He's not going to throw 60 passes a game anyway.
No, you don't want him to.
No.
So it's kind of a misconception that he's just this terrible playoff quarterback, because he's had good games that they've lost. I mean, legitimately that they've lost. But at the end of the day, the quarterback, like what Sherman was saying, is like the quarterback is the most important position. Right. It is. I mean, they're going to get all of the, they get all the credit and all the blame. That's right. If you're going down this path of now you're in year 9, and you continue down the path and you're getting the same results, well, something's got to change. Now, the ownership's not changing. The general manager's not changing.
No.
You could go change the coach, but now you're going to have another coach, which I don't, maybe McCarthy's going to fall on the sword, but I think McCarthy's done a great job in Dallas. I mean, I'm just going to call it like it is. He's not the problem. Quinn, I think kind of was, I think we as fans might have got sold a bad bill of goods and a perception our defense was better than it was. You know what I mean?
You guys played fine all year. I mean, are you going to
judge one game? The defense played good when the offense was rolling, but when the offense struggled, the defense got slapped around. You look at the Bills game. If the offense, all the pressure was on the offense to start fast. The Miami game, that Dak Prescott walked off the field leading the game. The defense couldn't hold him. They couldn't hold him. Yeah. The New England, the Bills game, we got slapped around. Arizona game got pushed around. Offense didn't get going. I remember they had 3 offensive linemen out. Not making excuses, but the offense just was not clicking then. So, I don't know. I'm at a weird spot because it's like you got one of the top quarterbacks in your conference, and you're just going to let them walk for nothing. You're not getting nothing in return. You're just going to let them walk. And I can't believe that they would do that.
And that's the thing with, Kutch is saying if JJ is going to wait till the end of the season, and then it's to your point, you're getting zero, right? So what do? If somebody is throwing draft picks at you, do you take the draft picks now? You got Trey Lance, draft a quarterback in the draft. I don't know if it's me.
I mean, that's something I would consider. But the thing is they've kind of put themselves like in a corner, right? Because you would have done this before the draft, right? If they would have called the Falcons up, at the end of the season, right in the beginning of the offseason, and say, hey, man, we're going to talk to Dak and we're going to give him some options and we're going to throw your team out there. Would you guys be interested? I mean, you guys might have said,
yes.
Hey, I'll take a Dak Prescott, younger than Kirk Cousins, and you're going to cost
not coming off injury
money or whatever it ends up being. So it's going to be interesting. Now I know Dak's going to sign, and that's the thought, is they're going to sign him after the draft. I believe that, but then I start losing hope when I listen to what Dak Prescott said. Then you listen to what Stephen Jones said. You listen to what Jerry said. And it makes you wonder. And then, I want to acknowledge Cuts by Jones said even Eugene Lockhart said wait up on the defense. And I just want to let everyone know, it was asked Thursday about Eugene. I did get an email from Eugene. He told me to call him. I called him. I got his voicemail. I haven't heard back from him, so I'm going to send him another text. So he is okay. I just I haven't heard from him. I've sent out messages and I've asked people, friends of, mutual friends that Coach John, and I never heard. So Eugene called, he sent me an email. Good. So hopefully he's doing better, doing okay. I know he had some surgeries and things like that. So hopefully we'll get him back in the cave because we all love Eugene Lockhart.
Oh, he's the best, man. Maybe would have been nice he came in draft night.
I know. Well, I mean, it might surprise you, Jimmy. Maybe, maybe there could be a surprise there.
Hey,
but I mean, what do you do? And all right, if they sign Dak, do you think what's been going on in within the media and then within the team, do you just kind of forget that? It's business, I guess. Like Sherman said, it's business, so you just kind of move on from it, or do you think there could be some hard feelings?
It's the business of the NFL. Look, if there's going to be hard feelings, it's going to happen either way, but it's the business of the NFL, and that's just the way it is, man.
Yeah.
What are you going to do, right? I mean, if anybody thinks that Dak Prescott or Kirk Cousins or anybody else in the league doesn't want to win, then that's stupid. They're out there. Of course, they want to make money. It's a business, but they want to win. Don't tell me any of those guys busted their asses all those years and sacrificed everything to get to that level to not want to win. All right. So that's a non-issue. It's just, you got to hope that in the playoffs, it doesn't get into his head at that point where it's a recurring issue.
That's what worries me. And, someone made this comment. I'm not going to go deep into it, but it makes you think. I mean, he's had a lot of struggles in his life, with his mom, his brother, things like, tragic things that shouldn't happen to anybody. Right. I mean, he's a great guy, his character, everything's good, but you wonder if some of those situations maybe affected him. That's what he said. He said, maybe some of these things that these tragedies in his life just kind of, everything with mental, your mental health and this and that. There's a lot going on, man. It's justifiable, but I don't know. But there's something there where it's just not happening in the playoffs. And it's like what Kelly, he went in and he did the research and kind of showed it. The first half is the problem in most of his games. It's like he needs to get knocked around. He needs to get something. And then all of a sudden, man, it's like a totally different player comes out. It's just, as bad as that Green Bay game was, he started fighting back. And then the defense just kept, every time he scored, the defense just gave up a touchdown and never gave him a chance to really, really get back in it.
And big touchdowns.
Yeah, and I mean, just wide open touchdowns they were getting.
Yeah.
So I mean, and he carries that burden. So you're talking about the tragedies he's had in his life, and then all he hears is he's a choke. You know, he stinks. They get rid of him, not the whole team. It's just like this guy, I forgot his name, this beat writer for Dallas Morning News. He did a thing about when's the last time we seen a Dallas team play this bad in the first half, and it was a picture of Dak Prescott. It wasn't a picture of the team. It was a picture of Dak Prescott. You know what I mean? So it just pissed a lot of people off. But this is a guy that works for the Dallas Cowboys, you know, beat writer. He's in there. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just the Dak Prescott thing is just a weird thing with the media and national media. What do you see all the time, right? On ESPN and NFL Network.
Well, but you want to know something, but you got Dak Prescott any quarterback in the NFL is just like your number 1 or 2 pitcher in the starting rotation in baseball, your goaltender in hockey. It's all the same. One screw up and the team is screwed, right? So that's why, that's why you're always seeing when they show a graphic, they're not going to show the team, right? But especially, again, the pressure cooker at Dallas. Romo had the same scrutiny as what SoCal True is saying. Is that true?
Say it again.
SoCal True said that Tony Romo had the same scrutiny as Dak.
He did to a point, but not to this level. He did to a point, but not. And I would say not to this level. And that's just, again, it's my opinion, but I've never seen this much, on this level. It's just, it's surprising. I don't know. And maybe it's justifiable. Maybe it is. It's really odd. So, I mean, look at the salaries. So, and it's hard because of the way the contracts are. So the salaries right now are cap hit, right? The cap number on quarterbacks going into this year. Deshaun Watson is 63, close to 64 million. Dak is 55. Russell Wilson 53. Matt Stafford 49. Kyler Murray 49. Daniel Jones 47. Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes 37. It drops down. But the thing you've got to look at, it's misleading because cash spent. So cash spent is, right? So yes. the salary cap can be manipulated. When you look at cash spent, Dak Prescott's 34 million, Russell's 39, Stafford's 31, Watson's 46, Murray's 38, Daniel Jones is 36, Mahomes is 45, Lamar's 32, Jared Goff is 27, Josh Allen is 60, Joe Burrow is 65. Kirk Cousins, 62. Justin Herbert, 56. Aaron Rodgers. So I guess, what I'm saying is the cap number looks a certain way because of the way the Cowboys have, worked the contracts, right?
Yeah.
But
it's a game.
These other quarterbacks are signed and they're just as big. And, what has Herbert done? But Herbert always gets a pass. What has he done? Kirk Cousins. He still makes money. That's a smart. I don't know what it is. That dude makes so much damn money. And I think he's a good quarterback. And these are good quarterbacks. I'm not knocking them, but they don't get the scrutiny. They don't get the crucifixion that, that Dak Prescott gets.
Speaking of, and we're talking about the salary cap, which again is manipulated. It's BS and everybody knows it. But the NFL is going to turn around and try to nail us for tampering with Kirk Cousins, all of a sudden threatening this, that, and the other. Get out of here because there's nothing but screwing around all the time. There's tampering all the time. People screw around with the money all the time, and it's BS, and the NFL knows it. So I hate this selective, crap with them that they try to come out with when it comes to, penalizing teams and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So it's this SoCal.
No, I mean that it's 100%. I think it's that, but there's got to be more. And I would throw Romo in there. I mean, I'll throw Romo in there too. I mean, it's you could be splitting hairs between the two of which one got more scrutiny. They didn't get the other one. The other shitty quarterbacks we had between Aikman and Romo didn't get the criticism, but the teams were bad. So I guess it really didn't much matter. So,
well, not in the headlines, you know.
No.
Look, it's cuts by before anyone trips by like Dak, hoping the defense gets to get no, not in the ATL. We don't want.
We're gonna, Cuts is gonna be in the ATL.
We don't want that.
I'm gonna be in the ATL. Jimmy D's gonna be in the ATL. I know Doug's gonna be in the ATL. We are gonna have a crew, so we're gonna have a good time, and that's what I try to tell people. We're gonna have fun. I mean, the Cowboys might break our hearts this weekend. They don't draft who we want, but I'm telling you what. Cowboys Nation, we're going to have some fun this year because that's what it's all about. We're going to have some fun.
Hey, Cuts, you notice, and Cuts will get this one. See, Brick was back on last week. You know what I'm talking about, Cuts. Brick was back on. He'll know what I'm talking about. And did you see what happened today? Matt Ryan signed a 1-day, retired an Atlanta Falcon. So
he did?
Yeah.
God.
He officially did it. And it was Cuts. He Cuts. We'll get into that next week.
Yeah.
Or at the next couple of weeks. I'll tell you what that's all about.
I was going to share this too. Thought it was lost in the mail. I got Kevin Gogan. It's hard to find Kevin Gogan stuff. So everything I find is 49ers. I told him that. I said, all I can find is stuff of you is 49ers. So whenever it's last resort, if I can, I get these little Funko Pops. And he got drafted by, the Cowboys in the 80s, the Tom Landry era. So I got this back. I got it back, and he signed it for me. So I've got that for the cave, for the collection. And we've got one that we're going to be giving away, a Bob Lilly, once we get to 3,000 subscribers that we're very close to. And then, like I said, 5,000 subscribers. If you 200 plus people are listening and you ain't over and subscribed yet, when we get to 5,000, we got 2 seats, club seats to a Dallas Cowboy game that you'll be able to go and take the person of your choice. It could be one of us, or you can say, go to hell, take who you want. But that's an opportunity. So make sure that if you ain't over here and you're watching on X and Twitter, which I see a ton of people are, is move on over to YouTube at some point when the show is over. We'll wait. Okay, hurry up. And we'll go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So definitely appreciate all the support. But wrapping it up, Jimmy, you and I don't go this late. This is some sort of record for you and I. Kelly and I did 2 hours. You and I are pushing an hour and a half. This is some sort of record.
No, it was fun. It was a good show. I think that, and again, we've said it a million times. We don't script anything. So tonight we just jump on and roll with it and have fun with you guys. And the draft thing was a great idea that Mike Tag had. That was fun. We both got pretty good grades on our draft, so I'm happy about that. And I'm looking forward. Well, you got Wednesday night. We got the defender of the star, George Teague. Teague's takes, and his partner in crime, his son JT. If everything works out well, where he can get away, he's going to be joining us too. So we'll just have some fun talking Cowboys, a little pre-draft, get his opinion. We had his old teammate Sherman Williams on, so may talk a little Alabama, Miami, a little college football, see where things are at. I got my Cuts by Jones U behind me, so I'm going to make sure he knows that it's there, and it's still all about the U. So we're going to have a good time. And then Thursday, we got a star-studded event. We're going to have live streaming all you guys for the first round draft. You guys can pop in, hang out. We will have the draft rolling. We can't play it on the thing because, we get in trouble, but we will go pick by pick. We'll break down pick by pick as well. You don't need Mel Kiper. You're going to have Jimmy Dee, Mike Tag. You got Kelly K9. You may have Cuts popping into the show, Doug and the whole crew, Bugs, and everyone may be popping in here or there. So we're going to have a lot of fun. SoCal, what do you say? You know what I have to say to that, SoCal? You're all trash. You're all trash. Talk about my teams like that. Knicks, Rangers, I don't care about the Islanders. Let them beat the hell out of each other with Carolina. I don't care about them. But no, we appreciate the love. So you're supposed to say you're going to break them in half. Break them in half like this. So, anyway, this is not scripted. This isn't like professional wrestling. This is an unscripted show. No, so this is it. What is this? This is a shoot. It's not a work, right? That's right. Is that right, Jimmy? Is that what you said? Right. So I just had to show it is a shoot. So not a Giants fan. No, I was a Jets fan when I was a kid. And in 1989, Deion Sanders brought me to the Falcons. Well, he was a Yankee, and then he brought me to the Falcons. That's why I'm a
Changed your life forever.
Exactly right. Business decision.
Yeah. Always.
Thank you.
All right, man. Well, we'll get out of here. Below Deck's coming on soon. I got to be prepared.
All
right.
See you Thursday.
Hanging with us. Like I said, I see you all on X. Shoot on over to YouTube. Hit that little subscribe. Hit the alert. Do your boy a favor. You know, we bring you entertainment. Give a little love back. I'll see you guys. Have a great one. Hope to see you Wednesday.
Give me somebody that's hungry. Give me somebody that's hungry. I need